in his sixth run for the Nigerian presidency, Atiku Abubakar is preaching a future as productive as the country's past when he was vice president. The big question is, can he succeed? He is in Nigeria's main opposition party. He's the presidential candidate and has always had an appetite for big battles. During his tenure as Nigeria's vice president between 1999 and 2007, Abubakar opposed the wave of adoption of Islamic laws across parts of the country's Muslim majority north, the highest profile Muslim politician from the region to do so. Well, he has also backed opposition to a bill to amend the constitution and elongate the tenure of the then president Olusegun Obasanjo, move that would have scuttled Abubakar's ambition to succeed his boss. This month, Abubakar will be fighting the biggest battle of his political career to succeed Muhammadu Buhari, whose second four-year presidential term earned this year. It is the 76-year-old's record sixth attempt to occupy the highest office in the land, with 3 of his previous losses coming at the primaries. And I get back to that big question. Can he succeed? If elected on February 25th, the top job awaits Atiku Abubakar. And apart from dealing Boko Haram's 13-year armed campaign in the northeast, he would have to tackle growing insecurity as multiple armed groups operate across the country, including secessionists here in the southeast and gangs of bandits elsewhere in the northwest and central Nigeria. Africa's largest economy is on a diphthong, having 2 recessions in 5 years, and that's partly due to policy missteps and the fallout of the COVID-19 pandemic. As many as 133 million Nigerians, the population of France and United Kingdom combined, will here live in poverty according to the statistics. And of course, the Naira is now all-time high as compared to the US dollar at official rate. Coming back to that question again, can he succeed? Growing population the youth population are backing Peter Obi of the Labour Party, whose emergence has given some spark to conversations on social media. On the other hand, in the West, it's more like Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has dominated. In the studio with me is the Director of Media and Publicity at Atiku Okowa Campaign Organization, Abia State, Chief Kingsley Megwara. Glad to have you in the studio this morning.
Thank you very much, Tisibara. I'm glad to be here.
Well, let's go into the business of the day. I wouldn't want to ask you the question, can he succeed, just straight on. I'd like to find out, do you think this is a 3-horse race? Do you think Atiku has got the north and Tinubu the west? Would you say Peter Obi has solidified his grip on the east?
Oh, well, first of all, I'm extremely very happy to be here to tell Abians that Atiku Abubakar is heading to Abia State this Saturday. It is official. It's a done deal. Atiku Abubakar will be here at the Umuahia Township Stadium on Saturday, and preparations leading to his visit are on high gear. Abians are ready to welcome and listen to the man who will be the next president and commander-in-chief. It looks like for some time now we've had presidents. We are now going to have a president and commander-in-chief to take care of the problems we have, particularly in the areas of securing us as Nigerians once again. So your question, will Atiku Abubakar make it? The answer from Kingsley Megwara, not just because I'm his media person.
I said I didn't want to just go straight to that question.
He will make it. Bara, you and I have been on this topic for 20 zillion times, and I have told you that sentiment apart, Bara, that the numbers are increasingly adding up for Atiku Abubakar. Anybody who is a good student the student of politics and government, we know and believe what I'm saying.
But what I'm asking,
and I'll be vindicated.
Yeah.
On the 26th of February.
You just want to be...
Kingsley Megwara will be vindicated in the 26th day of February after the election must have come and gone.
Chief,
yes.
Can we now take it one step at a time?
Thank you very much.
Is this a three-horse race? Are the other actors completely out of the race, in your opinion?
We don't see a three-horse race.
What do you say?
The difference is clear. And Bara, you will bear me witness that I have never, as media director to Atiku here in Abia State, I've never used any derogatory language on any of the presidential candidates. Mm-hmm. They are all qualified in their own way. But the difference is clear. And that difference is the distinction between being a governor and being a former vice president. You know the job. You will begin the job from day one. I have a lot of respect and admiration for our brother in the Labour Party. Again, I have a lot of respect and admiration for our brother who is in the Labour Party. But sentiment apart, what we are looking at are the numbers, Bara. And numbers win election. The solid northern electorates are solidly behind the Atiku effort. So tell me where the numbers will be coming for our brother. And the presidential candidate of the APC, Nigerians themselves, they are laughing at the packaging, and those of us who do media packaging and image laundry, I give kudos to the guys who are packaging him, and Nigerians already know. But he's quite entertaining in the whole scope of what we are doing. You see a three-horse race. Perhaps I see maybe a two-horse race because our brother from the Labour Party is a clean guy, and he's genuinely qualified to run, but the numbers are not adding up for him. And I will be vindicated on the 26th day of February.
Popular musician Shehu Kuti, son of Fela Kuti, has said, I'll quote him, Peter Obi is an opportunist, and what Nigerians need is for Nigerians to set up. I'm not really trying to bring that to the fore, but then I think that Peter Obi is just taking advantage of the fact that Nigerians are yearning for a much younger candidate. What's the place of age? I mean, looking at Atiku's age as well, and the fact that he's been on about becoming the president for, a record of 6 times.
The Labour Party presidential candidate, in my opinion, is not an opportunity to vie for what he's vying for. And his track record also had shown that he has some element of I can handle it type thing.
He was vice president candidate to your principal.
The point I'm trying to make is you can be a good man. You can be a decent guy, but this is election. And there are several things that comes into winning election. And we have looked at it critically, and we don't see those things falling in place for him. What we see is that the numbers are increasingly adding up for Atiku Abubakar. What we see is that we see in Atiku Abubakar a vice president who was tested under the administration of President Olusegun Obasanjo. And we have argued repeatedly that all of the successes that were recorded during the Obasanjo administration were attributable to the input of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. And several people who are honest will tell you that. And so at a time when this country is bleeding profusely, here goes Atiku Abubakar to the rescue. If some of us don't believe that this man is genuinely qualified, we will not follow him. We need a man who will come on board from day one, Bara, and turn things around. And several of us who are following him thinks he's the man who is ready to do so. We need to reverse this negative curve that's taking a nosedive and bring Nigerians up once again. Tisibara people are struggling and having so much problems today than it has ever been in the history of our country. Not even during the Civil War. Do people go through the excruciating pains that they are going through today? The average worker is suffering in this country. There is a reversal about to happen, and that reversal will be brought about by the emergence of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
Let's talk about Saturday. I mean, prior to the announcement, I hear that Atiku Abubakar should have been in Rivers State on Saturday, right?
Well, I don't want to talk about Rivers State. I want to talk about Abia State. And I want to tell you that Atiku Abubakar is coming here and everybody is so excited. Watch out what is going to happen in the Umuahia Township Stadium. Not the rented crowd, as we saw in the APC rally. People were coming as far as Kogi State to their rally here. So when you rent so much crowd to come to our stadium, what kind of message are you sending to people? Bara, come out there to the stadium and take a hypothetical analysis of what is happening there. Those are going to be Abians from Arochukwu to Okwa, filling up that stadium with don't-rent crowd. And the crowd you will see there are members of our party and are people who believe in our party, are people who are going to welcome Atiku Abubakar. We are not renting crowds. The people you see at the stadium on Saturday are Abians, and they are ready to welcome their presidential candidate.
And if I had to draw an inference to the fact that the People's Democratic Party in Abia State, ably led by the governor of Abia State, is a very vocal member of the G5 governors. Most recently, we've also seen that information about where Ayu, who is the chairman of the party, national chairman, has continued to extend an olive branch. But then there were some talks in quarters that the governor of Abia State had gone on to call Ayu because of the unfortunate incidents that happened to PDP Abia State, the loss of its gubernatorial candidate, an eventual need for another gubernatorial candidate to emerge within a stipulated time. The fact that the state had to work with the national, we had thought there was going to be a showdown. Eventually that went smoothly, and someone has emerged. The PDP national and the PDP state, what's the relationship like now? I mean, the governor had to jettison G5, or what's the situation?
Well, but I know that in the beginning the relationship was a little bit frosty, but I can tell you this on record, that Governor Ezikbazo, whatever anybody wants to believe, is a very smart man. And he's also a very smart politician. And I know that he will do whatever is necessary to make sure that our party in Abia State is defended. His overtures or reaching out to our party chairman, national party chairman, is customary. It's also procedural. We have the unfortunate incident of our flag bearer, dying, and so things had to quickly be done to make sure that we field the candidate in the upcoming election. So whatever Dr. Ezikbazo has done in reaching out to our national president, he's doing it, our national chairman, he's doing it in the interest of PDP in Abia State, and he's doing it in the interest of making sure that PDP is represented ably in the coming election. So the relationship in the past might be frosty, but I think things are coming down, and we all know that we have a compelling interest to make sure that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar succeeds, and to make sure that all of the PDP candidates in Abia State are competitive.
Right, so you're willing to talk about the Rivers State scenario, but then you cannot completely eschew that you require some level of what do you call it now, 25% spread across the state. And then you've been talking about numbers in recent times. If we had to domesticate that numbers, do you think it's going to be a clean sweep for you in Abia State, or into the fact that there's this word that's always been Abia is PDP, PDP is Abia. The past successive governments have seen, the PDP continue to hold on to reins of power, except from that little period where I think it was Senator Tio Chendo who emerged on the platform of the People's Progressive Alliance or something. If I can remember, I don't think that party really exists anymore. But then, it's PDP, Abia, PDP, and will that affect the fortunes of Atiku Abubakar? When people are saying we're voting for individuals now.
This next election is a very delicate election.
Okay.
Everybody is competitive. It's an election where it's extremely delicate to predict. But one thing that we have going for us in Abia State is that we've been the dominant party in this state for a long time. And our dominancy will come to play in all of the elections involving PDP. If you noticed, Barra, most of the major actors in PDP, less Ginger, less Danlo, everybody is still together as a political party. And what does that tell you? It tells you that PDP is still going to be very dominant and very competitive in every election in this state. I'm not writing up for the other parties, but I'm telling you that our level of dominancy in this state gives us a competitive edge. So don't cry for me, Argentina. We are here, and we are the dominant party, and others will have to queue behind us. We are going to be very, very competitive in this state. As far as our presidential candidate is concerned, we have a target for Abia State. Kingsley Megwara will not rule out the fact that the Labour Party presidential candidate is of the Eastern extraction. And anybody who is not smart, who is smart rather, we know that that's a force. However, we have a target for this state, and we will prove to people that because we are the dominant party here, we will meet and surpass that target.
Want to tell me what the target is?
The same goes for Rivers State. These two states are very important in our pathway to the presidency, and I'm extremely very happy to report to all of our party faithfuls listening to me that we have met and surpassed our projection for Abia State as well as Rivers State. TC Barra.
You don't want to tell me what the number is?
TC Barra. Atiku Abubakar's numbers to be president are adding up more than any other candidate. TC Barra. Kingsley Megwara, as spokesperson and media director for Atiku in this state, will come back to your program on the 26th of February and say, TC Barra,
I'll be monitoring the elections.
I told you so.
I've been accredited to monitor the elections.
You will monitor. I know you're a fine journalist, and somebody will find you worthy to monitor.
Well, let's expand the view from Abia State to the southeast. You mentioned that in your last statement, and if I had to bring the Apex Social Culture Organization, talking about for Ndibo or Hanese Ndibo, they have endorsed the Labour Party presidential candidate. A statement by a spokesperson talking about Chiedozie Ogbonnia. He said, apart from them, other regional social political groups also endorsed Obi. And the other groups which endorsed Obi includes the Middle Belt Forum, the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, led by Edwin Clark, the Pan-Yoruba Social Cultural Organization Fenifere, led by Ayo Adebanjo. And as they said, the groups separately acknowledged that Obi has the needed capacity and competence. So, looking at the southeast, yes, a southeasterner in the southeast, pushing that force. Are you able to confidently tell me that you also have the spread across the southeast?
Well, first of all, the Ohaneze Ndibo endorsement of Peter Obi couldn't have been anything other than what it is. Peter Obi is of the Eastern extraction. The Ohaneze Ndibo is the umbrella organization of supposedly of all Ndigbos. So them endorsing P2B is the right thing to do for that organization. If they have not done so, it would have been very uncivilized for that group. However, it is one thing for an organization to endorse you, and it's another thing to win an election. I don't want to say how strong is the Ohaneze Ndigbo, how strong is the views of the Ohaneze Ndigbo, even in eastern Nigeria, to say. So we are not worried or perturbed by the endorsement of any group. We have our eyes on the prize, and we are doing everything to tell Nigerians that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is the most qualified at this time because of the critical nature of the way our country is now. We do not need a president that will come on board and use a year and a half to learn the ropes. We do not need somebody who will come on board and not understand what the teething problem right now, what they are. So we need somebody who has been tested before. We need somebody who'd proven before that he can be president and commander-in-chief. And that somebody is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. So we are very excited, and I'm praying that of all of our projections, come true, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will be our next president.
We'll take a moment, and when we return, we get to talk more on the event proper and take a look at the role the PDP Abia State governorship candidate will be playing at that event. Stay right here on the dial. It's Rapid 96.5 on the frequency modulated band. Standpoint. We'll be right back.
My guy, which kind of paint have you used? We go make my house go well.
Na Sarklos paint.
Paint we go make my house shine.
Sarklos paint.
What about paint we go last for plenty years?
Na still Sarklos paint. Sarklos paint na ogbonge paint when don win both national and international award on top paint matters.
Abeg, where dem dey?
Dem dey nationwide. Sarklos paint get one ogbonge what they call Sarklos satin paint. If dirty touch the paint, you fit use water and soap take clean and cha-cha. Sarklos paint get other ones like emulsion paint, test coat, gloss, sack flash car paint, matte, industrial marine coating, red oxide primer, aluminium, screening paint, auto varnish, and other Barbares products. For that correct building paint when you need na Sarklos paint. Their price na shipping. For more information, call 070 30 90 4125.
Barista Dr. Karodi Kokorafo Baba Noko Adara Chilibili Chukwu kwadoro nega no chitani Kijebe Kaicheke Abịaga dịkwa mmọzọ Barista Dr. Mrs. Karodi Kokorafo bụ Adukwu Aro. Ada Chineke kechara chọọ mma ma kwadokwa ya n'ụzọ zuru oke maka ịnọchite anya anyị. Ka anyị sonyere ada anyị tozuru etozu gụzuo agụzụ ma werekwa egwu Chineke na-eme ihe niile ka Abia North wee gbuzuo ma chake. Tụnyere ma kwado Barista Dr. Mrs. Karodi Kokorafo maka ọkwa sineti nke Abia North ka ihe niile were meziere anyị maka n'iru. Ka anyị kwado nne dị ọgọzụ oke amụkwu n'ọnụ Igbo ji eme ọnụ ichebeko apụga onye aghara nwanne ya.
The Abia State Election Debate Team has announced an adjustment to the schedule of the ongoing election debate as candidates and political parties have also adjusted their programs following the recent passing of the PDP flag bearer. The new schedule is as follows: Abia North Senatorial Zone, Friday, February 3rd, 2023. Abia Central Senatorial Zone, Saturday, February 4th. Abia South Senatorial Zone, Tuesday, February 7th. Deputy Governorship Debate, Tuesday, February 14th. Governorship Debate, Wednesday, February 15th. Participating candidates and political parties had to take note of the new schedule. For inquiries, call 0806 464 8667 or 0806 356 8266. Announcer, Organizers, Abia State Election Debate Team.
Well, glad to know that you are tuned in to Rapid 96.5 on the frequency modulated band. This is the Standpoint. In the studio with me is the spokesperson of Atiku Okowa campaign organization. He is the director of media and publicity, X this, X that. This time he is on the all-front attack to defend his principle and to propagate his gospel. Chief Kingsley Megwara in the studio on the program today.
Thank you.
All right, so leading up to the 11th February event, where your principal is expected to be in the city of Umar, Abia State, for his campaign rally, there's been a series of postponement. One of the occasions you cited logistics issue, and some consultants say some people have continued to say probably the funds for this election have not been made available or are not available. How has the funding been?
Well, this election this year, it's not elections about funding. It's about capacity and competency and who is ready to govern. Nigerians are now sophisticated electorates. I don't see money making any issues in this election, and that's why I am very excited that we will be very, very competitive going on. We don't have funding issues in our campaign. Atiku Abubakar was prepared to be president, and he has done everything to make sure things are in place. Here in Abia, we have gotten all of the support and encouragement of everybody who needed to support us and encourage us. So we are doing very, very well here in Abia. Funding is not a problem at all.
Well, the indigenous people of Biafra says its intelligence has uncovered plans by some politicians to assassinate your principal, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar. A statement was released by Emma Powerful for the indigenous people of Biafra. It says the assassination is being plotted in the southeast, as well as supporters of the Labour Party rooting for the presidency of their candidate, Mr. Peter Obi. The statement claimed that the plot would throw the nation into turmoil and will lead to retaliatory attacks on Igbos in all parts of the country, and they will be massacred mercilessly. It further claimed that the plot will not only put the nation into a response, will also thwart the upcoming 2023 elections. The group, through that statement, put out a warning to all Igbo and Labour Party supporters, and also threatened to mention the names of people behind the plot if they desist from their plans. How do you react to all of this? I mean, the statement put out by More Powerful and the threat to your principle.
Well, first of all, I consider that as rumors, and in the political atmosphere, rumors are flying left and right. That's one. The second one is that I want to assure all of our people, all of Abians, that the event at the stadium will be very peaceful. All of the security apparatus have been energized, and anybody coming to that stadium that day will be extremely very safe. Our presidential candidate is going to be welcomed by Abians wholeheartedly. Abians, under the watch of Dr. Okezi Ikpeazu, whatever anybody wants to say, remained a very peaceful state. I think Dr. Okezi Ikpeazu will be remembered as a very peaceful governor. And I'm not a big fan in some areas, but I would tell you that man has reigned for 8 years as a very peaceful man. This state has remained very peaceful, and it's going to be so while he's winding down. Again, I don't like to talk about the IPOB and all of the press releases that they are doing, but I do want to advise our brother who is in a foreign land. I was in America for 28 years, and those 28 years of my life was always thinking about what can I do in my hometown to improve the lives of our people. What can we do to help our state grow? What are the medical supplies I can get from the U.S. and bring it over? Those are the kinds of things that I was involved in. I want to tell our brother who is abroad.
Well, the spokesperson, I don't think he's abroad. I think he's in Nigeria.
Am I powerful? Let's find a way to bring together our people. Let's find a way to make our Igbo peaceful. Let's find a way to carry one another up. And the current level of brutality the current levels of things that normally Igbos don't do, that we are beginning to see, is beginning to bother some of us. Everybody have to remember, this is the only place we can call home. Alibo has to be safe, and anybody preaching violence and an apocalypse, violence will follow that person. And that person will see the apocalyptic end at the end of it. We have to all work together. By the way, politicians are as well, from all parties, PDP, APC, everybody. We have a compelling interest to make this place peaceful. This political exercise is a 4-year thing. Another 4 years, another actors will come on board. There is no reason any political party should be preaching hate or encouraging violence, particularly with our youths, who are supposed to be the future leaders of tomorrow. Kingsley Maguire is on record to say we are preaching peace, and this exercise will be 4 years. Some other pharaoh will come on board. There is no reason to fight your brother.
All right, so let's wind down with the rally proper. You had mentioned at some point that the governorship candidate is of the new governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party will be at that event. Are you confirming that to me?
Yes, he will be at that event, and we expect that our national party chairman, the national chairman, will hand over the flag to Chief Okey Ahiwe, who meritoriously emerged as the PDP gubernatorial candidate. So he will be showcased to our party faithful on Saturday, and we'll take it from there. Again, Barra, PDP in Abia State is one family, and we are very comfortable going into the elections. We will be very competitive.
One significant thing Okey Ahiwe made or said during his acceptance speech was that the elections for People's Democratic Party was going to be 5 over 5. And I hear that slang means winning the elections from the top to the bottom. Does it mean he is, in the fold of Atiku and probably not in, consonance with with the outgoing governor, who's a member of the G5?
He won the gubernatorial candidate for PDP. He will, alongside several of us, be welcoming his national chairman and his presidential candidate at the Umuahia Township Stadium. The gubernatorial candidate, Chief Okey Ahiwe, has the compelling interest to make sure that the party is defended at all levels. And I think he's very, very comfortable with our national chairman, and he's very comfortable with our presidential candidate.
But then what do you think about his candidacy? I mean, probably on a personal note, not as the spokesperson of Atiku Okowa campaign organization.
I speak for Atiku Okowa organization, but I also know a little bit about Chief Okey Ahiwe. Okay. He will be very, very competitive, very, very competitive in the next election. The man has a candor that is infectious. One of the greatest assets of Okey Ahiwe is his candor and his personality. And I want to predict that he's going to be very competitive.
But you don't see an outright win for him.
He's extremely going to be very competitive, and you will see what will happen. People don't... I always like to come from an underdog capacity. Okey Ahiwe will spring surprises. He's going to be very competitive.
Considering the fact he just has a month to campaign.
The man is... let me go back to what I had said. His candor. Okey Ahiwe's candor is very, very infectious. You can't but love the man.
But then would he have the chance to be able to charm his way around the 17 local governments?
He has been effective as chief of staff. He has been effective as there's something Americans call paper trail. The man's paper trail is positive. So he's going to be very competitive. TC Barra, let nobody write off Okey Ahiwe. Okey Ahiwe can spring surprises.
Some people believe that he's going to ride on the PDP apparatus, which has a presence in the 17 local government, and if he's eventually delivered, that's just going to be the reason why that will work. But then other persons feel he doesn't have enough time to be able to do the needful when it comes to campaign and all that. So you don't think...
But I like to be very objective. And when I do my analysis, PDP is going to win at the presidential level on the 25th of February. That quantum leap is going to help everybody who is on the ticket of PDP. The other political parties are going to be demoralized because Atiku is going to, to win. That demoralization is a plus for us in PDP, and it's going to catapult a lot of PDP candidates to victory. So that's why we are working extremely hard to make that first impression. That first impression carries the rest of our candidates, and that's why it's extremely very critical for us to make that first impression. Atiku will win on the 25th, and it's going to encourage and help a lot of people with the PDP ticket.
All right, we'll open up the phone lines for a few minutes, and that's going to be for you to make contributions, ask questions. If you are not conversant with the numbers, I'm going to reel them out, 0916 0333 965 or 0916 000 965.
Hello, good morning, Tisi Bara.
Yes, good morning to you.
God bless you.
Glad to have you.
Evangelist Ken, calling from Omoaya.
Go ahead.
I've heard your interview and questions. In fact, you gave us, with the audience, what we need to hear. You asked such questions we need to hear. I heard the man said he has been in overseas for 28 good years. 28 good years and 20 years of PDP. He didn't add anything he learned to the PDP to do well in other states. He said PDP is a dominant party in other states for 20 good years. No government house, no good road. What do you mean by dominant party? And he's 100% sure that Atiku will win. He said he will call him. But tell him that I said, and when he said that Atiku will not win Nigeria, you will call him, keep this number, and I will tell him that what he's saying will not work. God bless you.
Morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Glad to have you. What's your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Owakwe Chideberry. I'm representing for my in Bende, LGA. Good morning to my boss in the studio.
Good morning, Owakwe.
God bless you, sir. Yes, TC, Sir Kingsley Megwara has said it all. Atiku is indeed a unifier. That is why we're urging all Abians. Come out by Saturday and see who Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is. And after that, on the 25th of February, vote PDP all the way. And indeed, you would see that Atiku is the solution to Nigerian problems. Why did I say it? Vote is very good. I would never
I cannot hear you very clearly. Are you there? I think I got disconnected. Hello? Hello, good morning. Good morning to you. Can you hear me? Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name, please?
I'm Kechi calling from Aroshuku.
Glad to have you, Kechi. Go ahead.
For this plan we have in Abia State, according to the analyst. Thank you also for the analysis. Anyway, and you said that you have set up 28 years in the United Kingdom, America. So I know that those people they pay their workers, they don't pay their workers. Why not inculcate that in the system of Abia State? And yes, no, we know that. So you can also tell him to pay the workers, pensioners, and other people. So that's the way to go about that. They're not doubting the peacefulness of Abia State. Also tell him to pay workers because workers are starving. They are dying. That's my own thing. Thank you so much.
Let's take some more, right? Are you ready to respond? As we go on, let's just take some more calls before we wrap the conversation. Yes, good morning to you.
Thank you. It's the network was actually disturbing. Like what I was saying earlier before now. Atiku indeed is a unifier, and the problem that Nigeria have found themselves into is only Atiku that has the capacity and the antidote to Nigerian problem. Why did I say it? If you know the man Atiku, you will understand when it comes to economy, he knows where to go and who to meet in order for us to be surveyed by APC-led government. Look at how much is dollar. How much was dollar before now? How much is the bag of rice? How much is the bag of rice currently? What are we talking about? We need a unifier. We need a man that has been able to do business successfully and has stand. We need him to come and salvage Nigeria because we are indeed in trouble. Now, Okeahiwe is a round square in a round hole. Why did I say it? Okeahiwe is also another unifier in Abia. You can imagine after PDP primaries last week Saturday, my dear brother, all the PDP, those of them that left from PDP to all these mushroom political parties have begun to come back little by little. So therefore, I am urging India, hold your PVC for PDP because PDP is the only party that can be able to give you hope
all
that
right.
everything have destroyed in this country. Thank you.
All right, let me take one more. Hello, good morning, Ugochukwu Emezo. Glad to have you.
Kingsley, my brother, in the studio. I've listened to the analysis of my brother Kingsley, and it's very much on point. Is that we are talking of one, the main purpose of Kingsley being there is to tell Abians that Atiku is coming this Saturday. And we want all Abians come to the stadium and listen to this man who has promised us to give the Southeast the infrastructural benefits of our zone. We as Abians, we are coming to the stadium with our manifesto that will be telling Mr. President to be, look, in Abia State, we don't have any federal institution that is not a specialized institution. We don't have a university that we call a federal university that is not specialized. Michael Agricultural University is a specialized university. We have the issue of our roots. We have things we are presenting to Atiku, and that is why we are calling on all Abians come out and support the PDP, and of course, Okeahiwe, and all of us will be there this Saturday to support our candidate. We love P2B, there is no doubt about it, but we have made a choice. Look, we can never ever put all our eggs in one basket. It's not possible. That is the truth. That is the message. That is the message. And our party, the PDP, is solidly behind Atiku. That is what you have to take home. God bless you guys.
All right, thank you very much. We just have barely 6 minutes till 11, and the phone lines is buzzing. Shall I take one more? One last call for the road. Good morning to you.
Good morning, PC Barra.
Yeah, what's your name, please?
Good morning, I guess in the studio.
Morning.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Jonathan, calling you here from Omaya. I've listened to what your guest in the studio has said, talking about the PDP man there. Proud that he has been talking about how his party, the PDP, is going to win, especially Atiku Abubakar as the next president of Nigeria. He's not talking confidently, with full confidence that Atiku must win. But it's no longer going to be business as usual because INEC has introduced a new innovation that will, reduce any form of rigging or manipulation. But I'm not saying that Atiku may not win, but it depends on the masses. What does Atiku have in stock for Nigerians? what does P2B have in stock for Nigerians? So it depends on Nigerians to decide between Atiku, Tinubu, and P2B who is going to become the next president. Because for me, I think that Igbo should make a very decisive decision this time around, because all along we the Southeastern have been marginalized politically, and our own person in the person of P2B is now indicating is pursuing this presidential addition. We need to support him fully so that he will become the next president. We should not continue to marginalize ourselves. So the fact that you said that we should not put our heads in one basket, I do not agree with you on that. We should give him full support so that at the end of the day, P2B will come out victorious. That's my take. Thank you so much.
And that's the last call we'll take on the program today. I think it will be time for me to give Chief Kingsley Megwara 2 minutes. That's all we have on the clock, 2 minutes for you to just respond.
Well, first of all, I want to say all of our callers are all very excellent callers, including the ones that I would say have an extra political adrenaline that is overflowing. I am somebody who is very real, and I try as much as possible to be very objective in this business of our politics. My main reason for coming to your program is to inform Abians that His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will be at the stadium on Saturday. Anybody with flexibility in their time, come out there and hear the man speak, and look at the man who by the grace of God will be our next our next president. But I sit down sometimes and x-ray our country. For 16 years, PDP handled the affairs of this country. For the last 8 years, APC have done so. Any reasonable man out there should be able to examine where we are now and where we were when Jonathan was president. I don't need to reel out that we are buying petrol at $4.50 per liter. When we did 87 when Jonathan was there. I don't need to say that a bag of rice is now 45,000 naira when we once were buying it for 8,500. I don't need to say that when we fly to Abuja during Jonathan era, it was 13,500, and today you are paying 80,000. All of the indices with which any government can be judged, the APC government has done terrible. Bara, in 16 years, it's not like we did wonderful, but any reasonable and objective person can say PDP, APC, we were better off. And that's just the truth. And so PDP, we knew, or we've known what our mistakes were nationally. We've known what our mistakes were, and those mistakes, by the grace of God, will be corrected going forward. But for anybody to say we'll be in this condition for another 8 years, that person doesn't mean well for the children of this country. So on a final note, I want to invite all well-meaning and progressive and peace-loving Abians to come out to the stadium on Saturday and welcome the man who may be the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And again, we are preaching peace across board, and this is not a contest to fight. Our brother who is in the race of the Labour Party is a good man, but I just told you that good men sometimes don't finish first.
Thank you very much. I'll take that as your last words on the program today. It's been a momentous occasion spending time with you, talking about the Atiku campaign and, of course, the event on Saturday. But we are practically out of time, and it's imperative that we let the curtains drop on the show. Hopefully, we'd have you, post the program to do a post-mortem on the flag of the rally, as it were. Many thanks to the producer of this program. Thank you, Onyuchi Obunna. And of course, the executive producer, John Nkamian. On the console has been Kenny the Gods. I am Temple Bara. They have a wonderful day. Up next is Newslight.